For thousands of years, travelers crossing the outer regions of the galaxy spoke of a legend about a civilization so advanced that it could lift entire continents into the sky, a civilization whose cities floated among the clouds, and whose knowledge surpassed that of every known species. They were called the Elyun. Most believed they were a myth, others believed they were gods. The truth was far more extraordinary. Chapter 1. The World Above the Clouds. More than 100,000 years ago, the planet Illyria shone like a jewel among the stars. Its oceans sparkled with crystal blue waters, and vast forests stretched across continents untouched by war. The Elyun lived in harmony with their world. They were taller than humans, graceful in appearance, with luminous eyes and silver blue skin that reflected the light of their 3 suns. Unlike many civilizations, the Elyun were not driven by conquest. They sought knowledge. From the earliest days of their history, they studied the stars. Every generation learned astronomy, philosophy, and science, while neighboring civilizations struggled with primitive technology. The Elyun had already begun unlocking the secrets of the universe. Their greatest discovery came when they found traces of an invisible cosmic force flowing through all matter. They called it Etherion. Etherion existed everywhere, in stars, in planets, in living beings, even in the empty space between galaxies. Once the Elyun learned how to harness it, everything changed. Chapter 2. The Rise of Aurelia Prime. The discovery of Etherion launched the greatest technological revolution in galactic history. Scientists developed gravity manipulation. Energy shortages vanished. Disease disappeared. Lifespans increased dramatically. Soon the Elyun achieved something no civilization had ever done. They built cities that floated in the sky. Entire mountains rose into the clouds. Gigantic platforms hovered above the surface. Millions of citizens lived among the heavens. The largest and most beautiful city became known as Aurelia Prime. Its shining towers stretched toward the stars. Rivers of energy flowed through the city like glowing waterfalls. Thousands of floating islands surrounded the capital. From a distance, Aurelia Prime looked less like a city and more like a constellation suspended in the sky. Visitors from distant worlds often stood speechless upon seeing it. Many believed no civilization could ever surpass such magnificence. The Elyun believed this was only the beginning. Chapter 3. Beyond the Stars. For centuries, the Elyun explored their home system. Eventually, they looked beyond it. Their greatest scientists created the first Stargate. The machine folded space itself. Distances that once required centuries to cross could now be traveled in moments. The galaxy opened before them. Exploration fleets spread across countless systems. New worlds were discovered every year. Some planets became research colonies. Others became centers of culture and trade. The Elyun shared their knowledge freely. They taught medicine to developing civilizations. They introduced clean energy systems. They helped rebuild worlds devastated by natural disasters. Soon they became known throughout the galaxy as the guardians of civilization. Under their guidance, peace flourished. For 20,000 years, the galaxy enjoyed an era unlike any before. Historians would later call it the Golden Age of Light. Chapter 4. The Hidden Signal. Everything changed when explorers detected a mysterious signal from deep intergalactic space. The signal was ancient, far older than any known civilization. A research fleet was dispatched immediately. For decades, they traveled through uncharted regions of the cosmos. Eventually, they discovered a massive energy barrier. The structure extended across light years. It appeared artificial, Someone or something had created it. The scientists named it the Eternal Current. No records explain its origin. No civilization claimed responsibility. The discovery fascinated the Council of Luminaries. Some believed the barrier concealed the secret of creation itself. Others warned it should remain untouched. Unfortunately, curiosity prevailed. Research stations were established around the structure. Experiments began. The consequences would haunt the galaxy forever. Chapter 5. The First Warning. Months after the experiments started, strange events occurred. Exploration vessels vanished. Entire colonies lost communication. Stars dimmed unexpectedly. Space itself appeared unstable. Scientists struggled to explain the phenomenon. Then came the first transmission. A damaged research vessel emerged from hyperspace. Its crew had disappeared. Only one survivor remained. The captain was barely alive. Before dying, he spoke 3 words. "It is awake." No one understood what he meant. At least not yet. Chapter 6. The Void Sovereign. Deep within the Eternal Current existed a prison. Inside that prison slept an ancient entity, older than galaxies, older than stars, perhaps older than time itself. The Elyun called it the Void Sovereign. No one knew who imprisoned it. Ancient records discovered near the barrier described it as a cosmic predator. Where it traveled, life vanished. Civilizations disappeared. Entire galaxies were consumed. Billions of years earlier, unknown beings had sacrificed themselves to imprison the creature. The experiments conducted by Elyun researchers had weakened the seal. Now cracks were appearing. The Void Sovereign was awakening. Chapter 7. Darkness Falls. The first invasion began quietly. Remote colonies reported encounters with strange creatures. These beings resembled living shadows. Conventional weapons barely affected them. They consumed energy. Ships lost power upon contact. Entire settlements vanished overnight. Within months, hundreds of worlds had fallen. The Council declared a galactic emergency. Military fleets mobilized. Defensive networks activated. For the first time in their history, the Elyun prepared for total war. The enemy advanced relentlessly. Every battle made them stronger. Every victory increased their numbers. Fear spread across the galaxy. The Golden Age was ending. Chapter 8. The Celestial War. The conflict that followed became known as the Celestial War. Never before had such destruction been witnessed. Starships kilometers long battled across solar systems. Planets transformed into fortified strongholds. Massive orbital weapons illuminated entire regions of space. The Elyun fought bravely, but the enemy never stopped. Every destroyed shadow creature released fragments of darkness that formed new soldiers. Years became decades. Decades became centuries. One by one, colonies fell. Ancient libraries burned. Research worlds vanished. The population of the Elyun Empire decreased dramatically, yet surrender was never considered. The galaxy depended on them. If they failed, all life would perish. Chapter 9. Humanity arrives. During the final stages of the war, a young species emerged from a distant spiral arm. Humans. Compared to the Elyun, humanity was primitive. Their technology lagged far behind. Their fleets were small. Their worlds were few. The Elyun expected little from them. They were wrong. When the shadows attacked human colonies, humanity responded with remarkable determination. Despite overwhelming odds, human fleets continued fighting. They adapted quickly. They learned from every defeat. Human engineers modified capture technology. Human soldiers volunteered for missions others considered impossible. The Elyun watched with growing respect. For the first time, they saw another species displaying extraordinary resilience. Chapter 10. The Battle of Sol. The Void Sovereign eventually targeted humanity's home system. A massive shadow fleet emerged near Earth. Military analysts predicted inevitable defeat. Human commanders refused to surrender. Every available ship entered the battle. Civilian vessels were converted into warships. Mining stations became defense platforms. Entire populations worked day and night. The battle lasted 17 days. Human losses were catastrophic, yet they held the line. When Elyun reinforcements finally arrived, they found something astonishing. Humanity was still fighting, outnumbered, outgunned, but unbroken. The defense of Sol became legendary throughout the galaxy. Chapter 11. Alliance of Hope. Following the Battle of Sol, humans and Elyun formed a historic alliance. Scientists shared technologies. Military commanders exchanged strategies. Together, they developed new weapons capable of resisting shadow energy. For the first time in centuries, victories became possible. Worlds were liberated. Enemy fleets retreated. Hope returned. But deep within the darkness, the Void Sovereign continued growing stronger. The final confrontation was approaching. Chapter 12. The Sky Nexus. At the heart of Aurelia Prime stood the greatest machine ever created, the Sky Nexus. For thousands of years it had powered the floating cities. Now scientists believed it could save the universe. The plan was simple in theory. The Nexus would release a reality-sealing wave. The wave could restore the ancient prison and trap the Void Sovereign forever. The problem was energy. The process required more power than any civilization possessed. Activating it would destroy Aurelia Prime. The city that symbolized Elyun greatness would cease to exist. The council debated for months. Finally, they reached a decision. The galaxy must survive, whatever the cost. Chapter 13. The last day of Aurelia Prime. Citizens gathered throughout the floating realms. Families stood together. Children looked toward the shining towers. Everyone understood what was coming. The Sky Nexus began charging. Energy streams illuminated the heavens. The entire city glowed blue. Across the galaxy, billions watched. Human fleets formed defensive lines around the capital. Their mission was simple: protect the Nexus until activation, no matter the cost. Then the enemy arrived. The largest shadow armada ever seen emerged from hyperspace. The final battle had begun. Chapter 14. Humanity's Stand. Human commanders knew victory was impossible. Their goal was time. Every minute mattered. Every second brought the Nexus closer to activation. Fleet after fleet charged into battle. Ships exploded. Stations collapsed. Entire squadrons disappeared. Yet humans continued fighting. When ammunition ran out, damaged vessels rammed enemy formations. When communication networks failed, captains acted independently. Every sacrifice bought another moment. The Elyun had protected the galaxy for thousands of years. Now humanity would protect them. Chapter 15. The Light of the Heavens. At last, the Sky Nexus reached full power. A brilliant column of energy erupted from Aurelia Prime. The light expanded across space. Stars appeared brighter. Darkness retreated. The Void Sovereign screamed. For the first time in history, the ancient entity experienced fear. The reality-sealing wave spread through the galaxy. Shadow fleets disintegrated. The eternal current reformed. The prison closed. The Void Sovereign vanished beyond existence. The war was over. The galaxy was saved. but the energy required for activation exceeded all calculations. Aurelia Prime began collapsing. The floating islands shattered. Ancient towers disappeared into radiant light. The capital of the Elyun Empire was gone. Chapter 16. The Age of Legends. Peace returned. The surviving Elyun scattered among the stars. Many chose isolation. Others became teachers and explorers. Humanity continued growing. Over thousands of years, humans expanded across the galaxy. The story of the Celestial War became legend. Most believed the Elyun were extinct. Their cities became myths. Their technology became relics. Yet explorers occasionally discovered ancient ruins drifting through deep space. Inside those ruins were records describing a civilization that once carried entire worlds among the clouds, a civilization that sacrificed everything for others. Epilogue. The Return. 10,000 years later, a lone explorer discovered an ancient signal. The transmission originated from beyond known space. Scientists decoded the message. Only a single sentence appeared. The Guardians endure. Moments later, telescopes detected something impossible. Thousands of enormous structures emerged from a dimensional gateway. Floating cities, skyborne fortresses, shining towers. The symbols matched ancient Elyun records. They had returned, and as humanity looked toward the stars, one truth became clear. The story of the Elyun was not over. It was only beginning. The end.